Hi, this is Shop Talk. I'm Chikiro Puno. Happy Monday to all of you. Capital is very important to starting and expanding a business, and while funding sources may be readily available for some, entrepreneurs should have good money management skills to be able to make the most out of every peso that they have. And today we will know what money mistakes should be avoided, and we will know where you can avail of a loan that has an insurance package bundled with it. We have 10 minutes to do this. In the first segment, we have Genevieve Gandia. She's an entrepreneurship and marketing teacher at the Ateneo Graduate School of Business. Jenny is also a business consultant with U.S. company Vantage Group. Hey, Jenny.
Hello.
Do's and don'ts or mistakes talaga all in 10 minutes.
Oo nga eh. Very little time to discuss.
Siguro the mga obvious, blatant mistakes that, you know, people always stumble upon at the beginning. Yung mga talagang start-up people who have absolutely no experience in business. What's the first thing they should do?
Actually, the very first thing is really to research on the business that they will be going into. This is very important because all this information will be used eventually in the plan that they will have to write down. That's the other thing that they will do. But on researching about the business, it is important that they know the environment of the business, the whole industry for that matter, and all of these factors that might affect the business eventually. And then of course, after knowing all these factors that will be affecting the business, they should come up with a business plan.
Yun, yun nga. You told me that early on. It's not about spotting the business or the opportunity or that business with the longest line. Uy, I want to be a me too. I want to do that too. That's because it looks like it's a good idea.
And sometimes actually you still have to look upon yourself also if you have some skills that you might need to improve on, or if the business will actually fit your personality. Because sometimes eventually, even if this business is like a fad right now, it's a trend, everybody's going into it, but eventually it doesn't fit with your lifestyle, with the way of life that you have. Eventually there will be some, there will be some conflict, and then you eventually lose the business because it has to be something that you really love doing.
Yun. So besides your personal interest in it, you really do have to put in the study time. No?
Yes.
You really have to look into it. Hindi pa ng hula-hula or gut feel.
Yes.
Although there is such a thing, right? I mean, there are people who just know what will click and what will
Yes, that's true. I guess many also would say, I started my business just on a whim when I had that opportunity. But it still is best to know everything about the business. It would still help if there will be no blind areas that you have not looked upon. And eventually, after knowing all of this information, it's still very good also to put it in black and white, or because a business plan is eventually your roadmap.
Is there a proper way of writing a business plan, or as long as you have all of your mission, vision in mind? What are the things in a business plan that you
very briefly, what is important that is included in a business plan is, of course, you're knowing the environment, and then there should be the part of the marketing plan, your operations plan, how will you be able to support it with people and operations and
bago ka pa magbukas,
system.
dapat alam mo na lahat yan.
Yes, that's why the information gathering is very important because although you are looking for information that will help you in running your business, and that will be a very good tool for you and will hopefully give you a high rate of success when you eventually start the business.
Another interesting thing that you told us beforehand, the business plan, you lay it out, and then you have to look at it again and revise it, update it, diba?
Yes, actually part of the business plan, I forgot. The last one is the financial plan, which is there should be a pro forma balance sheet, the income statement, and then your cash flow. These are important part of the business plan. If you are not an accountant, which is, we are not all very good in accounting, you can actually get a consultant, an accountant who will help you in putting up this financial plan for you, because this is important. This is this is the very important part also of the business plan.
And like you said, Jenny, you don't need to have it all. You don't need to know everything. In fact, that's one of the things also that you mentioned, that it's important to know if there's help out there that you can get, for one, by way of consultants, etc., and also suppliers.
And
diba?
suppliers.
It's a feasible business that you're looking at.
Yes, that will be part, of course, of the operational plan, which is the suppliers that you will have to partner with. How how are you going to have that relationship with them? Because they would want you to be successful. Of course, if they will supply you the products or the services that you need for your business, they will want you to be successful. So it's very good also to partner with very good suppliers as
And
well.
again, all of that should be laid out even before you get into it. The
That's
prospects
true.
of which partners you have and who are available.
That's
That
true.
should be explored already.
Yes.
Okay, we started talking about the financial part of it. First of all, is it important really to separate your personal and your parang business finances? Ganon? Dapat hiwalay ba yun?
Yes, that's very important. Well, that's a common mistake of most entrepreneurs, especially for startups if you're registered as a single proprietor company. Most of the time, you mix the personal finances with the business finance. Siguro in the beginning that it's acceptable, but eventually you will have to put, you have to put your books in order because you have to separate what the business earn and what the business should
So,
stand
hindi
for.
dahil maraming tao sa restaurant kagabi, magsha-shopping spree tayo bukas.
That's
Yung
right.
mga
That's
ganon,
right.
diba?
So it's very important that you keep a very good record, not just for the business, but
You know, I was asking you right before we went on, what is the percentage of successful businesses from the onset? How many startup businesses actually eventually make money?
well, it depends on the country or. I guess in the Philippines it's a high rate. Even globally, it's a high rate because the first 3 years really is the hardest part for a company or a business to
make it,
and to sustain the business. So which is why at the onstart you need the business plan because
Lucky, just forget it, right? I
Yes.
mean, you have to, reality
actually part
bites
of
sometimes.
yes,
but,
that's
yeah.
right. Actually, part of your business plan is the exit plan as well. So the exit plan may not have to be because you were losing the business. Eventually, the exit plan can also be something that if you want to sell the business,
Oh, you made enough money,
you
you're
made enough
tired,
money,
mga ganyan.
you think you don't want to continue the business because you want to start
Venture into
another
something
business
else,
venture,
yeah.
then you can sell the business.
All right, let's go back to the financing, no? The all-important startup capital. Where does it usually come from? Just from your own savings? Saan pa? What are the usual sources
Or
of
personal
capital?
assets.
Okay,
Yes.
personal assets.
Of course, if it's a small business, you can start with asking.
Is existing already. The best example you gave was like, maybe I can work out of the home first, so I don't have to spend for an office, so
Yeah.
things like that.
So a
Tama?
service vehicle can be right now your car.
Yeah,
you know. So
What do you mean by informal lending?
informal lending, there are many, I guess, in the Philippines who lends money on an interest. You have to pay an interest.
Yeah,
So,
usually higher than the
yes,
than
so
the formal.
this might be the last resort, or sometimes if that's why it becomes part of the financial plan because you have to put in the interest that you will have to pay for.
Of course, there are government programs out there. You just have to research. Again, research, study,
Yes.
private investors, and banks and rural banks have a lot of programs. Also, with that, because we're going to be talking about it, before I talk to our friends from BPI in the next segment, I want to ask you, as a consultant, how important is it to have your business insured?
Well, it is very important, but it's not very common in the Philippines. Sadly, I was just talking to the BPI people also earlier. I said, in the US, many businesses for any type of industry, they have certain customized insurances. So unlike here in the Philippines, it's just the normal general insurance, comprehensive insurance. But in industries like in the US, they will have something for this type of, if it's a construction business, they have certain insurance
that is
package
geared
for
for
that. Yes, it's
construction.
customized.
Yeah, so
And of course, it will be very good if we will have something like that here in the Philippines because we are very prone to disasters and calamities and fraud. And
so there really is, I mean, it exists in other countries, so that
Yes.
means there really is a reason for it to be around. Hey, Jenny, thanks so much for all the tips you
Okay,
gave us in
thank
such
you.
a short time.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
useful. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
And for those of you thinking of borrowing from a bank, we will tell you more about the loan package offered by BPI Family Savings Bank for those who need funds to start or expand their businesses. Stay tuned for that. Shop Talk will be right back.